future of Star Wars mainstream media is rather unknown amongst the public. We've almost reached the point where all the projects announced at the Disney Investors Day 4 years ago have either been released, shelved, or cancelled. So in today's video, I'll be speculating and proposing ideas for the next 10 years of Star Wars shows and movies. But first, YouTube tells us that 97% of you aren't subscribed. We post quality Star Wars content every week and can only continue to grow with your support. Help us out and click that subscribe button. And just as a reminder, some of these are my ideas and things I feel that Disney could produce, so feel free to let me know in the comments what projects you'd like to see released in the next 10 years. For starters, this year we saw 4 major projects hit our screens. The Bad Batch Season 3, The Acolyte, Tales of the Empire, and Skeleton Crew, which will be coming this December. In 2025, we've confirmed to be getting Andor Season 2, which will round off that story nicely. Vision Season 3 has been reported by numerous outlets to be in development, although nothing has been confirmed. Given there is roughly a 2-year gap between the first 2 seasons, we can predict that Season 3 will get a 2025 release. Off the back of the success of the Tales of the Jedi series, Disney could consider a Tales of the Sith animated project, which I predict could explore the early training of Maul under Palpatine and Kylo Ren under Snoke. Finally, I would consider 2025 a perfect time to release a droid story. Despite being shelved at the moment, this small animated project could allow Anthony Daniels one last outing as the iconic protocol droid and offer a potentially heartwarming story about family. 2026 is an exciting year for Star Wars. It's been confirmed that The Mandalorian and Grogu movie will be releasing on May 22nd. The nature of The Mandalorian Season 4 is up in the air at this point in time, but we can expect that if Season 4 was to occur, that it would release in the same year as the movie. With reports of Ahsoka Season 2 beginning to film at the end of the year, and allowing a year for filming and post-production, we can expect that 2026 is a likely release time for the highly anticipated second season. The voice actress for Asajj Ventress recently claimed that The Bad Batch Season 3 would not be the last we see of Asajj. I suspect an animated adaptation of Dark Disciple could be in the works and released as the animated project for 2026. Rangers of the New Republic, which was announced to be filmed at the Investors Day, was cut short after Disney and the lead of the series, Gina Carano, had a dispute. However, we've met many other New Republic personnel through the shows, and with Carson Teva featuring prominently in The Mandalorian Season 3 and in Ahsoka, he could be the perfect lead to fill the void. This live-action series would be a nice way to connect the New Republic to the events happening at the time of the Mandoverse and how the New Republic went about enforcing authority. 2027 could be a likely release period for The Acolyte Season 2. Despite it not being confirmed, rumours about its production are increasing and seem to be more likely now than ever. Confirmed for 2027 is another movie, with Rey's new Jedi Order flick coming to the big screen. If Tales of the Sith is popular with audiences, I see no reason why Disney couldn't continue producing more of them. For 2027, we could see a Tales of the Bounty Hunter series, which could build on the stories of some well-established characters. 2028 has the potential to be a groundbreaking year for Star Wars. The production of Lando seems to be quite slow right now, but in time could work for a release in this year. A much anticipated Star Wars What If series could be the perfect opportunity to provide a glimpse into what could have been in the Star Wars galaxy. Despite nothing being confirmed, Disney would be passing up on a major opportunity if they didn't even look into producing this series. I highly suspect Dave Filoni's Mandoverse movie to be titled Heir to the Empire. With potentially an Avengers Infinity War vibe, we would see our favourite characters come together to prevent Thrawn's ascension. 2028 could be a perfect release date with The Mandalorian, Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic series leading right into this movie. And lastly for 2028, the beginning of the next major animated series, The Dark Times, which explores the years right after the Empire really takes control of the galaxy and how several different characters experience the galaxy under the new regime. I suspect we'd see more of Senator Chuchi and the clones in this series. In 2029, I'd hope we'd get a second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Give Deborah Chow another chance to right the wrongs of Season 1 and deliver a final season worthy of the character. This year would also finally give us James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie, which is highly anticipated by fans. And as for the animated project, I would like to see more stories told in Tales of the Sith Season 2. 2030 would allow us to see the Star Wars galaxy through the creative lens of Taika Waititi, with his film potentially releasing in this time period. There haven't been many developments recently about his film, except that it's still going ahead. Season 2 of The Dark Times would be a good continuation of a range of characters through the Empire's iron grip, and at long last we could see Rogue Squadron. Despite being all but cancelled, Kathleen Kennedy has suggested that the project could be redeveloped as a live-action series. With a lot of work to do before it's ready to be released, I believe 2030 could be a good time for it to arrive. 2031 could be a massive year, with the first part of an Old Republic movie series potentially on the cards. This is a time period we haven't seen much of in canon, and several movies could give us epic action, great new characters, and show us the Sith in a time where the rule of two didn't exist. Speaking of the Sith, I believe that since we are getting an origin story about the first Jedi, we should be getting a story about the rise of the Sith from their roots on Korriban to their control over the galaxy. To round out 2031, a second season to Tales of the Jedi could provide fans with a more in-depth look at a few fan favourite Jedi. In 2032, I think we could see Solo 2. Despite no intentions to develop a second movie, there is no doubt that there is a lot of fan interest in a sequel to the original Solo movie. A project that could be interesting to explore could be the existence of the Zepho and their connection to the Force, and how they came to settle on their planet. And lastly, a live action series following the Knights of Ren, which would answer the question of where they were during the events of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. It would also help develop these characters significantly more and paint them in a new light. 2033 could deliver the second part of the Old Republic movie, but it would definitely not be the last we see of this time period. I suspect a Thrawn series could be in development to explore his rise through the ranks of the Empire. This animated series could offer fans a visualized look of the much beloved Thrawn novels. We've already seen glimpses of it in Tales of the Empire, but a full-fledged series seems like the right way to go for such a fan-loved character. A Coruscant Underworld series could also be on the cards for 2033. A similar series was pitched years ago with over 500 scripts written, but was never produced. This could be the embodiment of those ideas. And lastly, in 2034, I think a Maul series is much needed to understand his workings after the Clone Wars, including how he came to take control of the 5 syndicates in the Shadow Collective. This is another idea that fans have expressed much interest in seeing. A second season to Tales of the Bounty Hunters would be a no-brainer, provided the format hasn't died out with fans by this time. And although ambitious by Disney standards, I could see a Starkiller series being produced, with a story focused on Darth Vader's secret apprentice. So those are my ideas for the next 10 years of Star Wars. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, the actual landscape of projects is likely to be much different than this, but it doesn't hurt to speculate and propose ideas. Make sure to like this video and help us get to 500 subscribers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.